Hi there, here are the headlines. Chinese police are keeping a close watch on the streets of Xinjiang on the first anniversary of the deadly ethnic riots there. Reports say a few shops chose to close today, and some residents say they have been told to stay off the streets. A nationwide strike in India over the government's fuel price increases is causing widespread disruption. There's been sporadic violence in major cities. Some schools and businesses have been forced to shut. Many flights in Mumbai and Kolkata were also cancelled. And catch the full report on Primetime News.
This is Channel News Asia.
Hi, I'm Ben, or otherwise known as the adventurous, crazy, energetic one. I cross deserts, climb mountains, run marathons, bungee jump, scuba dive. I'm practically a fish myself.
Nope, he's not auditioning for my show, but that was his audition for the best job in the world, which he won as an island caretaker, and now Ben is the tourism ambassador in Queensland. So I'm here in Queensland, the Sunshine State, to find out what that is all about.
And I can guarantee you it is still the best job in the world.
We'll see.
Let's rewind to January 2009, where folks at Tourism Queensland created a vacancy for an island caretaker. 34,000 people from every nook and corner of the world applied for the dream job. Who wouldn't? After all, the winner gets paid $150,000 for 6 months to swim, snorkel, dive, feed the fish, and to blog.
Ben Southall.
Ben Southall from England beat the competition. He promptly packed his bags and moved to live in a rent-free 3-bedroom villa, complete with a pool, on Hamilton Island in Queensland. Ben had applied and got the best job in the world.
The biggest question that people ask me is usually, was it the best job in the world? It's the usual answer, and the one I've got for me is, it was for me. It might not have been for a lot of people because it was so busy. The job itself was full on. It was 9 to 5 for the daytime experiences, and then I'd start work at 5 in the evening and work until maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at night. But it was busy, and it was a fun job, and I loved it.
Ben excelled so much as an island caretaker that after his stint ended, he got another job offer, this time as Queensland Tourism Ambassador. So what does he have to do? Well, he needs to know this state, which is a whopping 2,400 times the size of Singapore inside out. And to do that, he has to literally climb every mountain or cross any sea. In short, Ben has to try out every activity that a potential holidaymaker would be likely to experience, so he can tell people firsthand how each adventure feels like.
Who needs an office when you've got one like this?
And I tugged along. Another part of Ben's job is to travel around the world to sell Queensland's highlights. Since he started his job 6 months ago, he has traveled to 10 different countries. Call this a job? Isn't this just fun and games, Ben?
There was always the idea that the Island Reef job was going to be about sitting in a hammock and reading a book, but it's always been a lot more than that. Queensland's got 200,000 businesses that rely on tourism, and those businesses rely on someone like me to go and put them out actively, proactively, and promote them. And that's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, you know, going and presenting to 2,000 travel agents in Dubai who could potentially send 10,000 people to Queensland every year is a big responsibility.
One of his favorite ways of getting people to go wild about Queensland is to blog and tweet about his daily adventures. Ben now has close to 4,000 Twitter followers, and he tirelessly updates them around the clock, even in his dreams.
I think the tweeting becomes a bit of a habit. It's a nice addiction because it allows me to give people different experiences. If they're sat there in an office and want to live a bit of a fun lifestyle and think about these sort of things and adventures, they can come and do it. And if I can give them just that little opportunity, then I suppose I'm doing my job.
With a job as varied as Ben's, anything and everything goes, including going the extra mile, quite literally. It's 6:25 in the morning and Ben is out training for the annual Gold Coast Marathon. It is not part of his job, but he has made it so. All because he knows the growing popularity of marathons can also attract plenty of running enthusiasts down under. Today, Ben is training with Pat Carroll, a former national marathon champion and running coach to the Premier of Brisbane, Anna Bligh, who is going to start off this year's race with Ben. There's not much. As if volunteering for extra work like training for a marathon isn't enough, Ben didn't let his fear of heights get in the way. He wanted to show me the view of Brisbane from the top of the Story Bridge.
Is this the top?
This is the top.
We've reached the top.
Okay. You ready?
Well done.
Yep.
22 stories high now, so you're 80 metres up above the Brisbane skyline.
And looking down, it looks quite scary from up here. You can see all the cars, the traffic going through beneath us. And then what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just tying a shoelace, but people have actually got down on one knee and proposed
up here.
on top of the bridge, and there's actually been a couple of weddings as well, so it's a special place.
It's a nice place if you want to save on that wedding gown. You gotta wear this
Exactly.
and this for your wedding day. Not bad.
Yeah.
So, would you marry me?
What I get paid to.
Widespread disruption in India as people across the country demonstrate against the hike in fuel prices. Plus, a human rights group claims the world's newest nuclear threat is in Southeast Asia. Details on Primetime News.
From a dynasty long before my time, it's a privilege just to wear it. To feel the generations that have worn it before, to covet its resilience, to gaze upon its beauty. From a dynasty long before my time, it's a privilege just to wear it.
UOB Privilege Banking. Your life, our privilege.
You didn't plan on starting your day with a fine. Didn't request to be stuck in a terrible jam. Nor ask for a tough day at work. But at Subway restaurants, you get exactly what you ask for. A delicious sub, piled high with everything you want. And nothing you don't.
Subway, eat fresh! A battle is about to rage deep within the wilds of South Africa. It's the 2010 World Cup. Let our sports editor Leonard Thomas bring you all the action from the Rainbow Nation. Get expert analysis, read reports on all the matches, follow the dark horses as they look to make a breakthrough. The 2010 World Cup. A football safari with 32 nations, heroes, superstars and dreamers, all with one goal. Follow the whole story with MediaCorp.
What I get paid to.
Well, Queensland is known as the land of sun, sea, and a lot of sand.
So we're here putting on the sunblock today.
Because we're going to check out Morton Island. It's the 4th largest sand island in the world. And, well...
This is all part of the job. Put the sun crew on, and off we go.
There are over 300 islands in the Great Barrier Reef, and this industrious island hopper has already checked out 62 of them. But how does he differentiate one island from the next? Isn't an island just an island?
When I get to a new island, one of the first things I do, the first morning I'm staying there, is get up and go for a run around the tracks around the island. I can get up to the highest point on the island, have a look at it. I can go to the furthest beach, and it's usually a great way to explore, and it gives me a much better understanding of it, of what the whole thing is.
Boy, was I glad when Ben decided to give running a pass today. Instead, we started exploring the ocean beaches of Moreton Island. On these, nothing like a bit of competition to spice up an otherwise ordinary day's work for Ben.
Do it! Over the bump. Oh, steady.
And Ben is the winner.
There's gotta be a return.
Moreton Island is also home to the biggest sand dune in the world, so it was definitely on my to-do list. And there is no better way to get to know the place than getting down and sanding. Sand toboggan time.
I'll see you at the top then, yeah?
Okay.
Race you. Let's go.
It's a long walk up.
Let's go, go, go.
Okay. She's having sand for lunch.
Definitely not the way to do it, isn't it?
We're going down.
All right, we'll set you guys a challenge. First one down wins. Ready?
Yep.
Start running.
Let's do it.
Tim win!
I want something. Finally.
I want a mouthful of sand.
Whoa.
Tim, congrats. That's a 3-0 whitewash.
That's what you get for being heavier.
One for Ben and one for me, but we're not calling it quits yet.
1, 2, 3.
I think we're a bit safer now, but I think an honourable mention has to go to Tim for being the most likely to die. How did you hit one skinny little pole in all this desert?
Precision.
But our winner is Ben. Congratulations.
Good work, man.
He's always winning.
What each island offers is a different level of comfort, a different level of activities. You know, some of them are designed for a family to go to for a day. Some are designed for the businessman and the wife to go and have the most luxurious food, the comfiest pillows, the best view. And each of those different things are on offer on all these islands. So when I go there, I'm there to test everything, to do all the different things.
Who would have known it's possible to hand-feed wild dolphins? This Tangalooma resort at Moreton Island is the only place in Queensland to do just that. Every night, pods of wild dolphins will come inshore in search of food. Armed with our fresh fish, Ben and I came face to face with these bottlenose dolphins. Marine biologists hover around so that these dolphins will not overeat or get mishandled by eager feeders. And that is the same mission for folks who care for the array of native Australian wildlife at the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. Getting close to the animals is encouraged as they believe the closer you are, the more you will understand these creatures. And yes, this is part of Ben's job too. This Englishman is right at home with his Aussie friends. Koalas in captivity can live up to 15 years, and those in the wild, about 10 years. This koala I'm carrying is called Baby. She is 6 years old and a mother of 2. Baby weighs only 6 kilos, but koalas can easily weigh up to 15 kilos further down south of Australia because of the colder weather. Contrary to popular belief, koalas are not bears. They are marsupials, or mammals, with a pouch.
Koalas are pretty special because they are only here in Australia. They're obviously indigenous to Australia and they're an iconic Australian symbol. For the people there at home, how does it feel holding it? Because it looks good. Is it cute? Is it that fluffy?
It is. It's very soft, fluffy, furry, and I just love how she's just holding on to me. But I think she's starting to get tired.
Yeah, they can only stay out for a certain amount of time, I think, but, you know, they've got to go back and relax. This is, you know, how long have they been out now?
She's been out just over 20 minutes, so these guys can only do about half an hour a day. So they work for 3 days, so they'll do half an hour for 3 days, and then they'll have a day off.
I want to get paid to do that.
They've got the best
They
job.
have the best job in the world,
Eat,
not
sleep,
you.
and hug you.
Yeah.
So now that I've met Baby, the real koala, I've actually found a much better looking koala. It's time to blog again. Smile. Perfect. So one of the most interesting things about my job is meeting other people who've also got interesting jobs. This is Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, and they've got an animal hospital here.
Right.
And it's a new venture that really cares for rescued wildlife from around the area. 80% of the patients they have here are brought in by members of the public, and the other 20% are caring for the animals that are here at the sanctuary.
In the sanctuary.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is the new building.
Let's go in.
We drop into a day's work with Andrew Hill, who is in his 5th year of being a wildlife vet. Fresh from being up close with Baby, we were ready to cuddle another one of Australia's indigenous animals until the little patient came out.
Okay, Ben, this is your patient for the day. This is an Australian short-beaked echidna.
Short-beaked echidna.
This echidna is one of the 1,400 different types of native Australian animals found here in this sanctuary that Ben has to know at the back of his fingertips. Andrew tells us about 30 animals come through this hospital's doors every day, and they are delivered just like this.
This is a wildlife ER.
Now, lorikeets are full of personality. They're really tough, but they're so acrobatic, they quite often get themselves into trouble, so flying into windows.
At times when Andrew can't figure out the extent of the animal's injury by touch, the technology here helps with the diagnosis. Whatever can be done to treat a human can also be done to treat these patients.
That's right.
And now Ben gets the opportunity to try what I do. It's his challenge. Ready, Ben? 3, 2, 1.
Over to me. Hi there again, Andrew. So I have to interview you now and find out really the difference as you here as a vet in a wildlife sanctuary. How different is that to being a vet out on the streets?
I don't know what's going to come through the door. It could be an echidna, a koala. Today we've seen all of those. Kangaroos, raptors. It could be anything. I get to work with God's creatures all day long, fix them up and get them back out there into the wild.
You obviously love what you do. You love your work.
I love my job. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Best job in the world.
Oh, you have got the best job in the world now, have you?
Absolutely.
I think we're competing on this one then.
Indeed.
Thank you very much for today, for everything. And just to finally sign out as a reporter, this is Ben Southall standing in for Tim, live from the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary in Queensland, Australia.
And for a colourful end to a hard day's work,
And we are now surrounded by rainbow lorikeets from Queensland, Australia, and they are everywhere. On the plate. I think it's all over, man. I've always said you're a bit of a bird brain. I think you're proving it. Yes.
Oh no, look at that. It's good luck.
Apparently.
What I get paid to.
Men, ladies, baby boys and girls. She's photographed them all. Except the third gender. Now a baby photographer takes the plunge, exposing real stories of the transgenders in India and uncovering personal revelations. Watch The Transformation on Asia Exposed. Tuesday, 8:30 p.m, exclusively on Channel News Asia.
Asia Exposed is brought to you by Nikon.
Smart enough to consider different trading platforms. Visit saxomarkets.com.sg, the choice for intelligent traders.
Chu King Kwang, one of Singapore's best-loved artists, will be showcasing his works this July, together with artists Angeline Chu and Riang Sak, July 2nd to 18th at Datang Fine Arts, Liang Courts Level 2.
What I get paid to.
Have you tried this before? This is Australian. This is traditional Australian Vegemite. Now, as someone who's visiting the country, you have to try some of this.
I have to.
It's yeast extract. You've got to get your finger in it. Get that face. That's the usual answer, is that reaction. Queensland is famous for its fresh seafood and shellfish. We're going to go down here and see some bugs. Have you heard of them before?
Creepy crawly bug?
Well, it's almost crayfish, it's almost lobster, it's almost a prawn.
So it's seafood bugs.
It is seafood, and they're live down there. We're going to go and see some. We're going to go and try some.
Better than this, I reckon.
From what I've sampled, and I like about Queensland, is the fact that seafood is the big thing here for me. You know, in England you can get your seafood platters, but you pay through the nose for it because it's all got to be flown in. Whereas Australia, it's there along the coastline. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh seafood. Three of the things that I absolutely love about the job, you know, are sampling all these different things. The kangaroo is a damn good meat. We don't say it too loud in this enclosure, but it's all these different things that I haven't tried before.
I volunteered to do Ben's job this morning to get familiar with this produce. These ball-main bugs are a type of slipper lobster that can be found deep in the coasts of Australia. What is special about this place is people come straight to these boats to buy their seafood. You can't get any fresher than this.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, mate.
How you doing? Ben.
Ben, Richard.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Benny boy.
What have we got here?
We have spanner crab.
Okay, and this is one of another Queensland speciality.
Yes, southeast Queensland speciality.
These
Deep water crab, found out in the ocean.
They're different from the sorts that we get in England, you know, the huge big pincers and stuff?
Yeah, they're unusual shape for a start.
Yeah.
Unusual colour too.
Yeah, that's a natural colour before they're cooked.
Is it? Yeah,
they get their name because of the
looks like a monkey wrench, doesn't it?
Yeah, you put that in your toolbox after you finish eating.
So obviously this is your boat?
My boat.
You come and you catch them, and by the smell of it, you cook them as well?
Catch them, cook them, sell them.
Richard allowed us to be his assistants for today for the paycheck of the freshest spanner crabs. Crabs are cooked in seawater and sold by the weight. 1 kilo for $15.
For being the spanner crab, there's one more bit I want to take home, and that's a 12 mil just to complete my set off, if that's all right. Thank you.
Richard sells about 100 of these a day.
So our last job, obviously,
selling,
is get these out to the public now. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm very, very good. Now, I hope you're here to buy one of our fantastic spanner crabs.
Well, we'll have a look at one first.
Here. Well,
When did you catch them?
They were all caught last night. They've been cooked up fresh about an hour ago.
All right.
And they're ready for your table now.
Big, heavy kilo for you.
Yes, that's good weight about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. How much a kilo are they?
15.
15 a kilo.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take 2 of those.
Sounds good. Do you want those ones wrapped?
No, could you shell one for me and show me how it's done, please?
Oh, the test is on now, isn't it?
Shelling a crab was the most difficult part of our job, but hey, someone's got to do it. At the end of it, we got a big smile from people at the Sunshine State and our paycheck, of course. From food culture to culture of a different kind. When Ben says he has to have a taste of everything, he isn't pulling my leg. So, we both put our legs to the test.
You be totally critical on how our performance was.
Well, you guys did look very amateur.
Yeah.
You've had a lot to think about, so I think
considering we had a 30-second lesson, do you think we did all right?
No, not really.
Oh, good man, thank you.
But I thought you've done really, you've done okay, but not really good.
Okay, but this dance is something you teach other people, or is it?
Mainly the boys. Only the boys do this sort of style of dancing, and the dances that we do come from up far north Queensland and taught to it by our elders, and they're handed down through us. We're not allowed to teach these dances to anybody else until we get permission as well. So you have to prove that respect and prove that you can hand that knowledge down. That's why it's so important.
So we can't teach this dance to
No,
other
you can't
people
teach
now.
this dance. I can show you, and I can teach you, but you're not allowed to do it anywhere else.
It's very hard. It's very hard to teach something that I struggle to learn. I think that's the
You have a point there. It's time to give Ben another challenge. Ben, pop quiz time. Answer these questions as fast as you can.
Okay, here we go.
All right, number of islands in the Great Barrier Reef?
300 islands and 600 coral cays.
Perfect. Best place for whale watching?
Harvey Bay.
That's right. Largest sand island?
Is Fraser Island.
That's easy. Okay, the setting of Finding Nemo.
The Great Barrier Reef, my backyard.
And Nemo is?
He is a 2-banded clownfish.
Perfect. Population of Brisbane?
Pushingly. 1.8 million.
Close, 1.6 million. It will be 1.9 in a few years.
Okay.
Steve Irwin's zoo.
Australia Zoo.
And here's your toughest question. What's my last name?
Timothy. Othy. We'll call you Othy for today. That do?
He just gave me a new last name. You did well, except for that one.
Except for the last one, of course. Yeah, thank you.
I give up. Ben truly has all the answers about Queensland at his fingertips.
Ben is the best person for the best job in the world, because the best job in the world is really about how you approach the work you do.
I think the part where I thought this is now the best job in the world was probably one of those first days where I moved into the house on Hamilton Island, this lovely $3 million villa overlooking the Coral Sea, having a barbecue, and 2 whales cruised past underneath the balcony, and it was just me and my girlfriend Bree sitting there watching it, and I turned around and thought, this is it, this is the moment. There was no cameras there, it was just me and her enjoying the view in this amazing house. And all I had to do the next day was get up and go sailing or go for a walk in the hills or one of these things. And I just thought, someone is actually paying me to do this. This is pretty good. This is the best job.
These were the big tragedies that brought out the best in human spirit, that put the people's resilience to test. For every victim who had survived, there lies a story of true courage, of immeasurable strength to live with hope. Don't miss Spirit of Singapore, Life After Death, a brand new series starting 12th July exclusively on Channel News Asia.
Congratulations to Christina Hardy at this year's Gaia Life Challenge 2010. After 24 hours and 9 grueling challenges, she triumphed over 2 other contestants and walked away with $5,000 cash and other fabulous prizes.
You have a new generation of consumers who are now more aware that the product that they purchase is not just what the product is about, but also what the values the company organization stand for.
Saving Gaia, the event itself, is a culmination of that. It really brings together the whole environment message, and this really comes to life in the form of a competition for people to actually live the green message for 24 hours.
We thank our sponsors, event partners, viewers, listeners and readers for supporting our mission in Saving Gaia. Brought to you by Gain City, your electrical appliance people. Saving Gaia, a Media Corp green initiative.
History, science, art, religion, providing Asian perspectives in an ever-changing landscape. Channel News Asia.
Egna Timepieces Collections. Iconic, Swiss-made, timeless. Egna Timepieces at Watches of Switzerland. Time brought to you by Egna Timepieces.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Hyak and you're watching Primetime News on Channel News Asia. In the news tonight, nationwide disruptions across India as thousands answer the call of the opposition to demonstrate against the government's fuel price hikes. Heavy security in China's Xinjiang province on the first anniversary of deadly ethnic riots that killed some 200 people. Back in Bangkok, Cambodia deports 2 Thais suspected of involvement in a bombing attempt in the Thai capital. And full body scans in operation